war is not actually about dying for your country. It's that the other guy over there needs to die for his country. Welcome to GLL Nations Royale. Once again, day 2 of this week. We're back with Toby and me, G-Runner, bringing you another incredible 3 matches.
Yes, it's going to be a lot of fun. Yesterday, we had some good ones, and I hope that these guys today can live up to it, because we have 2 BO3s. You talked about something. Yeah, exactly. So 6 games in total yesterday, and we have even more potentially coming up today.
So we go in 9? Is that what we're doing?
Could be. We'll have to wait and see.
Yep, that's true. And obviously, as we said, 3 of them. We will start with Turkey versus Hungary. And then we're heading over to Britain. Great Britain versus France. I think that will be a very exciting
There's
matchup.
also some rivalry there.
Yes.
Right? A few wars have been fought over the time.
That's the Central European rivalry that we had yesterday with a Northern European rivalry, right, between Sweden and Denmark. And then, it's not on this graphic, but I promise you it exists. There's a third match. It's South American region, and it's actually Argentina versus Brazil.
And that's going to be a good one. So if it's not a war rivalry, there's some football rivalry in there, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, I would guess so,
Yeah.
So did you watch all the previous football matches between them?
All of them
prepare?
ever, yep. All the way dating back to 1833, when they had their first game on July 3rd. Started 15 minutes past 3, 2-0 to Brazil.
Did you make that? I wasn't sure yet. It's like,
I'm convincing when it comes to that, yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't bad.
I'll throw in some facts later today as well. We're like, wait, what? Is that really
So whatever you hear today from Toby regarding history, football, whatever, it might be a lie. Don't buy into it.
one.
Yeah, but a very convincing one. That is true. It's still a Nations Royale. That means we're in the round of 16 because we're in 1 week prior. That's the word I was searching for. Prior to the final, which is next week, 30th and 31st. Obviously, 30th is top 8, and then the top 4 at 30th, and the grand final on the 31st. With the generals being here in the studio.
It's going to be a lot of fun to actually have them. We've constantly been talking about what goes on in there. I mean, I've been part of in the vanilla WoW days. I was part of these 40 man in one raid kind of conversations, and that's all kind of doing focus on the same one big boss guy, right? Here, you talk about yesterday how some teams are splitting out to get control. There's so much info coming in at the same time, and for that in-game leader or captain to be able to sort of keep all those balls in the air at the same time, that's going to be so difficult.
Tough challenge, 32 versus 32.
Yeah.
That is the coordinated chaos we launched in today. So let's have a quick look at the lineup of the teams that we will see tonight. And obviously we're starting with Hungary, Turkey. We said that already. So these are the guys that will head into the war for their country here in the Nations Royale matchups.
And it's kind of interesting because Hungary, I mean, Turkey is a very, very well represented region when it comes to, I guess you can say, the esports side of
they got great fans. They got all the support available.
There is a ton of very, 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 very supportive fans out there. Probably out there in the chat now as well. So if you're a Turkish fan, spam some love. And if you're a Hungarian fan, of course, do make sure to throw the love for your team in there as well, because this is going to be a good one. I can feel it. It's going to be a good one. 3 maps.
We had luck yesterday, and I'm pretty sure we'll be lucky today with awesome matchups. Obviously, these strategies slightly different. We talked about that yesterday. We'll dive into a bit of that later on in the matches. So if you watch it for the first time, don't worry. We'll get you up to speed in terms of how 32 versus 32 actually works. And for everyone who's coming back to us here in the Nations Royale, we'll try to make that as funny as possible to make sure that you don't get bored.
Funny. It's always fun. It's amazing.
Yeah, but yesterday we heard what your maximum level of humor is.
Oh no, that was just warming up. It'll be better today. I just have yeah, exactly.
You can do it.
Yeah, I got it.
I believe you.
Good jokes. There's a chance.
You want to hear something super surprising?
Ooh.
We start an Erangel.
Okay.
We did yesterday as well, right?
Yeah,
both matches.
Yeah. And also, for those of you guys that didn't watch yesterday, maybe there's a map fact that people might want to get.
True that. We're not launching any attack today on Miramar due to slight bugs in the game.
Yeah.
So we're not heading into the desert. That still leaves in the map pool Vikendi, Erangel, Sanhok. So there's still enough. And you see, oh, it's Erangel, Sanhok.
There you go.
And we know Sanhok is a great decider map.
Yeah, we had it yesterday, and it was just, I mean, because you can get so close to one another without being able to see each other. I mean, we had that fight that escalated. It was 10 minutes into the game, and half the teams were already dead.
Yeah,
half the
true.
teams,
Way quicker than the
because
previous maps.
only 2 teams, half the teams died. Yeah.
Half
Half the teams were
Half
dead.
the teams,
What?
wow.
Half the players, I meant to say. But yeah, whereas to a wrangle, it tends to drag out a bit longer.
This is exactly the right format for me, because as soon as I start into this matchup, I know that it will be on the podium, right? Because there are only
that's
2
the
teams.
thing, yeah,
So
yeah,
the
yeah.
worst you can get is second.
But not getting first is last. So
Also true.
yeah.
Yeah. And yesterday we actually had to say goodbye to Germany. They lost against Greece and Cyprus.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mixed team. Then we had to say goodbye to Sweden.
Go with that. Don't
They
worry.
lost against Denmark,
Yep, yep.
2-1. Poland, they lost against Finland.
Yep.
And we also saw the Adriatic nations eliminating Czech Republic. That's it. So just so that you're up to date on everything that happens throughout Nations Royale. It's obviously a single bracket, so there's no loser bracket. Whoever is out is out. Means I was actually sitting here each week and then never got to see my own team.
It doesn't matter. They didn't make it anyway. So they clearly weren't worth watching.
I wanted to see Germany playing once at least. Come on.
Yeah.
Would have been great.
There's probably some VODs from some streams, the streamers, the guys who are playing. That's another thing.
They probably deleted them already. It's like so bad deleted.
That's another thing we should tell you guys. If you don't just want to sit and watch us, I don't know why you wouldn't want to, but team captains, I don't know if it's obligatory, but I know a lot of them are streaming the games from their point of view as well. So there you'll actually get to get the info and like feel the hectism of what's going on and those commands coming in.
Every day, everyone, not every day, everyone nowadays, that's what I want to say, got 2 screens anyway, right?
For the most part.
Or you got your phone, so you can basically watch both streams.
True.
You can watch us and you can watch
or multi-stream.
the point of
multi-Twitch,
view.
whatever it's
Oh
called.
yeah, true.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
also works. So that should be an easy one. Obviously, once again, it's not us stalling. We're just waiting for all the players to get ready. It's another note that I might want to highlight here immediately is we're trying today to get through this like smooth and quick because there's actually a patch coming later tonight, which means we're doing the 2 European matches right now.
Well,
and
it's not going to interfere anything with the European ones. We can
No,
say that right off the
no.
bat, yeah.
So don't worry about these. And then we do the South American match right after that. So
Yeah.
there's not a huge break like normally when we do like all-nighters. Don't worry, we're getting right into the next match, do a 3rd one, and you can watch PUBG Nations Royale action all night long.
That's amazing.
At least until the patch.
All night long until the patch. And
Until
I'm
the
pretty sure, if my memory is correct, that it's patching from 2 a.m.
True.
CET. So if you don't have any reason to be up tomorrow, at least you know what can entertain you up until around 2 o'clock.
That's true. And when we talk about entertainment, there's another entertaining thing popping up at GLL in case you missed it on Twitter. There is the first Apex tournament. So sign up is open right now. So just head over to the GLL website and get your squads, your friends, your mates together and jump into that one. Because obviously you can't sign up anymore for the Nations Royale.
Yeah.
So
It's a little late for that. But also, I mean,
a bit late.
and so some might sit out there and wonder, oh, but how can you promote one battle royale when we're in another? Isn't that kind of interfering with? And I'm like, no, because these 2 games, I mean, I like to play both of them. They're good games. I don't work in Apex or anything with that. And I'm not hired by PUBG here, so I'm very unbiased. And I think both games actually have each their very, very, very valuable thing they bring to it, which you can't get in the other. So why couldn't you just play both?
I still think it's totally fine to like multiple games, even if they're
Yeah.
really on the same, like in the same genre. Let's be honest. I'm doing gaming now for 15 years. Yeah. So I had my first show 2005. So I gamed before that, obviously, before I got on TV with it. So not all of the games from back then are still around, right? So if I would stick to just one game, then I would be kind of lonely by now.
What game could you have stuck to? World of Warcraft?
Well, that's still around.
That was 2005, right?
Yeah, that's still around.
Counter-Strike?
Counter-Strike is still around, but obviously not the same. Back then it was 1.6.
just Counter-Strike, yeah.
Warcraft isn't around anymore.
Battlefield games.
Starcraft.
Was the first Battlefield 2005? Was it 7? Battlefield 1942? No,
And
that's
then
earlier
switched to
than
Battlefield
that.
2,
That
yeah.
must be earlier. So that's around there as well. You
But
guys
still,
would know.
let's be honest. Just be open. Gaming is something we all enjoy, right? What we all want to do. And I love playing PUBG, but once in a while, I just like to see something else, right? So that's totally fine. Don't feel bad.
So
in
you can
case
go
you sign
play
up there.
Apex, but you have to come back here and play
Yeah.
with us.
And watch. That's another thing.
Not a whole lot more
Your
to it.
schedule basically looks like that. Participate in the GLL tournament. Watch our stream.
Yeah.
And watch our stream.
Shouldn't be too
participate.
much to require.
No,
No.
that's totally fine.
Anyone could do that.
Easy.
Yeah.
Oh, I can
Not a
send
problem.
out schedule letters to anyone, like email.
Now I'm thinking, trying to sort of get back on the track here with Nations Royale and all, and if we keep it within EU, because that's kind of where we're at right now. From a historical perspective, because I've done a little digging, and I know you're a history guy. It didn't require much, you told me. So on a European scale, who would be like if we look through all the time, who would be the victors of a Nations Royale within Europe? As like the best historically warrior nations out there, because I want to see if it's gonna fit with this. Because now France and England, right? That's
Yeah.
Napoleon Wars and all that stuff all over the place. It's been going on for many years. But who won in the end? Was there ever one that won a little more than the other?
I'm sorry, but I still believe in there's never a winner in war anyway, unless it's PUBG.
Oh, okay, nice save.
You see, but in real life, I think there's never
Denmark
a winner.
clearly
right?
won yesterday.
Yeah,
so-
Denmark. Don't worry, Denmark won. I totally agree on that. It's confirmed.
Don't take it away from me.
They're through. Don't worry. Denmark beat Sweden. I'm actually surprised that you're still here after what you said yesterday on camera. I was
It
pretty sure they
took
were
a
just
lot
throwing
of
you out.
convincing and money under the table for me
Yeah.
to get into that cap to go back. Yeah, they were like, we're not. Nope.
I can understand. I mean, there's.
I was out there in the rain for so long saying, please let me back in. That's why I'm. I don't even know.
All right. You see, even production says
Yeah,
they're very angry.
they're upset. It's still not forgiven. I'm trying to make it up to them.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
there's no Denmark today.
Yeah.
Also no Sweden today. Also no Norway. Just to say that, but they got eliminated earlier anyway.
Yeah.
So we know that Finland's still in from the Nordic
Mhm,
countries.
mhm.
That will be an interesting one because Finland actually plays Denmark next.
They do, and it's going to be a tough one too. I can say that even as a Danish person. I mean, there are a lot of. That's just Finland in general in Europe, at least specifically for PUBG. They're fragging. It's like every Finnish, like every team you have that are like multiple like mixed teams in the regions or the countries. If there's a Finnish player, more often than not, he's the heavy fragger on that team. And I don't know what it is that is with Finnish people and being good at shooting. I mean, one thing is being good at the game, but the actual like down to the mechanics and everything, just Finnish players are extremely
Well,
good fraggers.
Back in the days, like when esports started, it was always Swedish, right? I mean, all the big Counter-Strike teams
Yeah.
and Counter-Strike lineups were Swedish,
Yeah.
and afterwards they were Russian.
And Danish.
A good Danish Counter-Strike team.
Yeah, I can come up with one. I don't know.
You don't know? Is there?
I don't know. Maybe the best team in the world?
Never mind. We're not doing Counter-Strike, so you don't need to know that. I'm totally fine.
I was
But
saying Astralis. I was trying to joke it to you.
yeah,
it
but that
didn't
wasn't
work.
back in the days, though.
Yeah,
That's
true.
pretty recent. Just
We're
saying.
good now. That's all that matters.
Just
isn't it?
saying. There are slight hiccups with the lobby, guys. That's why we don't get started right now, and you're probably wondering, like, why they're still bubbling.
We're just
That's
chilling.
the reason.
Yeah.
Which means we're going to a quick break.
Oh.
And then we're back with more PUBG action here at the Nations Royale, so don't go anywhere.
You think I'll beg for mercy? Fall to my knees to be your girl. you really that deluded? I wouldn't touch you for the world. 'Cause I know, I wake up in the morning thinking this is my new love. And I know, we break up in a week because of your snowman syndrome. I wish you were as big as, I wish you were as big as, yeah, I wish you were as big as your ego. I wish you were as big as, I wish you were as big as, yeah, I wish you were as big as your ego. Don't need your conversation, babe, I'm afraid you're out of luck. That's too much information. Don't care about miles, that's yeah. Whatever. I know. You wake up in the morning thinking this feels dumb as hell. I know. No one could ever love you like the way you love yourself. I wish you were as big as, I wish you were as big as, yeah, I wish you were as big as your ego. I wish you were as big as, I wish you were as big as, yeah, I wish you were as big as your ego. Ain't no way I give it up, move to you like I'm in love. You want it, but can't get it, baby. I don't give a. Do I look like I'm in love? You want it, nah, you can't get it. I wish you were as big as, I wish you were as big as, yeah, I wish you were as big as your ego. I wish you were as big as, I wish you were as big as, yeah, I wish you were as big as your ego. Ain't no way I give it up, move to you like I'm in love. You want it, but can't get it, baby. I don't give a. Do I look like I'm in love? You want it, nah, you can't get it. He's a world that's against you. He's a fear that's pulled you down. You're scared to move a muscle. Paralyzed, you're making no sound. He makes you feel like a child who's scared of the night. Turning your light on. He waves fear in your face and brings it to life. Turning your light on. Turning your light on. Turning your light on. You've got to open your eyes. He's nowhere inside. Turning your light on.
him, should be dreaming. Might be street wet, rain from the evening. Light breeze, cheeks wet, came from the season. Might leave, we met, changed for a reason. Came in, rearranged, then leaving. Rain in the season, pray for the men, and pray for the feeling, pray for the healing. Stay, don't ease it, stay, I mean it, stay, I mean it. 808s and heartbreaks for the setting. Match made in heaven, minor chords with the seventh. You came bundled up, but I preferred you in less though. What a fucking mess though, I can tell you was stress so. Sing that duet at your request by your side. What a fucking pleasure, no fucking pressure. I memorized it all to the last fucking letter. What a fucking treasure. I fit it all in these extreme fucking measures. Trying to leave, it's pouring down. New pot of tea, it's boiling now. Here is the handle, here is the spout. You got it all bottled up, pour it out. Look, I don't think you get it. If you wanted to go, you would've did it. Hey, I'm not foolish, and you're not stupid, and this ain't new. Can't even speak in English. The way things feel seems so fragile. Please make what I feel sound easy. I've had that same damn thought for 3 days. All for peace sake.
You think I'll beg for mercy? Fall to my knees to be your girl. Are you really that deluded? I wouldn't touch you for the world. 'Cause I wake up in the morning thinking this is my new love. And I know we break up in a week because of your smart man syndrome. I wish you were as big as, I wish you were as big as, yeah, I wish you were as big as your ego. I wish you were as big as, I wish you were as big as, yeah, I wish you were as big as your ego. Don't need your conversation, babe. I'm afraid you're out of luck. That's too much information. Don't care about miles, that's yeah. Whatever. I know. You wake up in the morning thinking this feels dumb as hell. I know. No one could ever love you like the way you love yourself. I wish you were as big as, I wish you were as big as, yeah, I wish you were as big as your ego. I wish you were as big as, I wish you were as big as, yeah, I wish you were as big as your ego. Ain't no way I give it up, move to you like I'm in love. You want it, but can't get it, baby. I don't give a. Do I look like I'm in love? You want it, nah, you can't get it. I wish you were as big as, I wish you were as big as, yeah, I wish you were as big as your ego. I wish you were as big as, I wish you were as big as, yeah, I wish you were as big as your ego. Ain't no way I give it up, move to you like I'm in love. You want it, but can't get it, baby. I don't give a. Do I look like I'm in love?
Sorry, folks, for the slight delay, but I can confirm people are running on an island.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's a
we're
good
getting
sign,
ready
right?
for the first match of the evening, Hungary versus Turkey. Finally, we're actually in the lobby, and we're actually already loaded up onto the island, which means there's nothing that can stop us now from getting into map 1.
Not at all. It's going to be Erangel. We talked about it before. Erangel, Stanok, should we go to the third and deciding map. But right off the bat, as we can see here, plane is in the sky. Everyone but one guy connected as well. And for those of you guys out there who want a little history knowledge, this rivalry right here goes all the way back to the good old days in 1366 when the Ottoman Empire and the Hungarian Wars started. And I do not know who won that, but I know that Hungary, they had a few allies in that, and I don't think anyone's allying in this tournament. So now we'll see if they can do it by themselves.
Yeah, there's no chance to bring any support troops.
Nope.
From any other nation.
Nope.
I would still like to know statistics, how many miles all of these guys actually had on that airline that always flies across it. And another thing, since they always check in to get on the plane, but they never get to their destination as they all jump out, how does that airline explains that?
The
every
worst is
single
going to
time?
be, think of how much luggage is just going in circles on that. I mean, so many planes a day flying towards the same airport.
Yep.
And it's just going in circles. I think
Poor
the
luggage.
claiming.
That is actually a way bigger spread than what we saw yesterday. That is a clean cut in the middle of the island, basically. Hungary is on the side of Georgia Pool, so that's the west coast versus east coast today. Because the Turkish players, they went a bit across to Milta Power, obviously. Rostock is in there.
mhm.
No one Pachinki once again. One of these cities, the same yesterday, that
Yeah.
got left alone. Kind of sad.
Split off on each side. And I'm sitting here looking at some of these teams and thinking to myself, I wonder, oh, I wonder.
And then that circle.
Yeah.
It's like, all right. Turkey is down by 1 already. Is that a disconnect? Did someone die? But that's a very, very interesting circle. I mean, it's around Starbar. That's something we didn't saw yesterday. But none of the Hungarian players is actually in the circle. Means Turkey has the chance here to set up a real defense line before they even come close. Because that is quite a distance right now.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you go with a car and just immediately rush into the circle, it isn't. But if they really move because they're afraid they might run into Turkish forces, then that's a long, long distance they need to overcome.
It sure is. Lipson getting loaded up. And so are all the other guys. Fenerbahce. And, I mean, a lot of these guys have actually had the pleasure of casting not too long ago. A good joy in that. We had Fenerbahce in there. 2 guys representing their team. Very nice. Very nice, very nice. I'm starting to wonder because, to my recognition, Fenerbahce is Turkish.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a football club, right?
Oh yeah, but they also have an esports team.
Yeah, I know.
That is
I know.
Turkish.
But isn't it Istanbul?
What? Yeah, exactly.
city?
But
Yeah.
but they're from Hungary here.
You can still play as a Hungarian player for a Turkish organization, right?
True.
You know that in mouse sports, for example, there's only one German player, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, there isn't even one anymore, as far as I know. But you think maybe that this is the wrong way around in terms of logos?
It might be. It might.
I'm currently looking at the
let's go with
names.
it. Oh, maybe they're all just spies.
They all
Oh, they all infiltrated
Yeah.
at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Like everyone does it at the same time. They came with the exact same idea. It's like, that
could be.
Yeah.
So let's check the names real quick here. So Ongst Jonasy is on that side. Wait, let's see.
Did I just hear flare gun?
Hungary.
I think that's what we got in the background there.
I wonder if they really switch the logos. I mean, that can happen.
In the end, it
That
doesn't
can
matter.
happen.
It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. We still see the teams and they're up against one another because the players are indeed on the correct spots. I mean, they are against one another. So it doesn't matter in the end. We will still get to see one hell of a war between all these guys, that's for sure. And it's going to be a little while because you just mentioned yourself how they actually impressively managed to split out as well as they did. Yesterday, there were some more that might have missed the memo as to where you're supposed to be going and where you're not.
Or just more scouts. Let's be
Yeah,
honest.
could be a little more brave in the whole exploration or what do you say, reconnaissance aspect of things. But here, sure, they're sticking to each their side. That's for sure.
Boris Meister all alone there in a small compound. Where's... Oh, all right. Was wondering where we are, and then I saw the bridge. I was like, all right. Never mind. Got it. And also, even here, even in Milta, there are only 2 players right now. So that's a lot of loot for them available. He got himself, like, Tetris, got himself a nice helmet. I think that was... what he had on the... on his back. Couldn't really spot that one. I was a bit too slow. Observer was quicker than me. Now, Observer tries his best now. There's a pen. I can see that. Easy to spot. But yeah, Military Island completely in the hands of the Reds right now. So probably the Hungarian team, since we probably switch over now.
Yeah.
So it is the Hungarian team that's completely close to the circle. I want to say completely in the circle, then I realized that doesn't make sense when they're down at Military Island. And it's Turkey that has not a single player right now in that circle.
What's going to be interesting is for the Turkish players that are far out west in blue, for them, they could now, if they want to, try and make their way up north and take some control in the circle. Because if the Hungarian team is allowed to sort of spread out as widely as they could do here, it's going to be tricky for them to really find an entry point to the circle.
If I learned strategic input from the previous matches, and this might end Stauber, I will pack all my guys now, go around Saverny, get Stauber, there's this ridge line, put myself there, hope that it's slightly shift up north,
Go to the
and
mountains.
definitely you will get them.
Yeah. Also, you'd rather push down the mountains than up them. I
Yes.
think in the grand scheme of things. At least that's the way normally when you play in squads of 4. But here with 32 versus 32, I'm not really sure where would you say the advantage lies from a combat like war perspective. Would you want to fight uphill? I know what Obi-Wan says, but what would you say from a 32 versus 32? One team is up the hill, one team is down the hill. Who wins?
The team that shoots downhill.
Because you got to elaborate on it
Really?
if you can. You can't just come with a quick answer and not come with an explanation.
But besides, obviously, that is a bit easier for you to just spot like the real hitbox that you want to go for earlier. There's also, and in terms of your line of sight, always keep in mind, like if you've got the display right in front of you, right? So you're looking straight at it, and looking downhill will make it for, really, believe me, for your eyes, way easier to spot targets than when you look in the game up. Obviously, you still look the same on the display, but it makes a difference for human beings. That's it.
One of the reasons I'm thinking is that if you peek from up and down, they can only see like your head or your upper body, where if you look downhill, you'll see their entire figure, right?
Yeah, it depends on how
Oh,
far you're off
the terrain,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
But yeah, that should be an advantage to it as well.
Besides the bullet drop, that's another thing.
Oh yeah, it doesn't drop.
Yeah,
Downhill
obviously.
drops already.
All right, guys. So just so that you know, by the way, Supra, a great car. The flags, we can't change them right now. Just so be aware of that. Hungary is red, just like the overlay on top.
The overlay is very correct.
31, 32,
Yes.
that is correct up there.
Yes.
But what you see on the map and what you see next to the player names, that's not correct. So Turkey on blue, Hungary on red.
We just do it to see if we can throw you off a little.
I
we're
think we can do
testing.
it. Oh, someone, look at that. Someone took got himself a boat.
Yeah,
Chris
great.
the Beast.
Yep.
And he went for a little supply drop from Santa Claus, and he got himself a ghillie suit.
Yep, at least the ghillie suit. Seems to me like he still has a scar and a mini, so I'm not sure.
I love how the level 3 helmet is underneath that.
It might have been a gross out in the crate, which means that it didn't want to drop because you only had 2 5.56 weapons. Could make sense to me if that's the case. I think observers will prove if I'm wrong or right. No, it's empty.
He dropped something for sure. Look at that. That's a level 3 backpack still.
Oh, there he dropped an M24. I just couldn't see his other weapon then. It looked like there was a mini, but we maybe never know. Oh no, MK14. There you go.
Solved the mystery.
Mystery solved. I was incorrect.
Yeah, it took a while. Look, they're going up north. I think that is exactly the right way from the Turkish place here, but that's not the whole Turkish army, right? Where was the rest of it?
On the flank.
Ah,
The cavalry is coming in from the other side. Maybe.
That's a great idea.
We haven't really seen that a lot either. I mean, one thing is that we've seen teams split out in the end when you're actually fighting, but the whole splitting up in 2 groups and trying to do the initial rotation in 2 different, like, separate divisions, kind of, that's not something we've seen a lot of teams really experiment with, at least not this week.
It is true, but you tend to try to have your team together, just so that it looks bigger on the map. But it doesn't really help, because we know it's harder to not shoot your own teammates.
Exactly.
You're losing different attack angles, which is kind of sad. But, oh, it moved slightly south of Starbar. But still, it is the rich they could play. But I love that they got a team on south and they got a team up north. The problem is, Silva, he comes over that bridge. He will spot that team, maybe.
Yeah.
And that wouldn't be good. Or everyone on the Hungarian side thinks they're down south, turns around, looks south, and the team from the north is like, oh, look, they're not even trying to shoot at us. And I just mow them down.
Isn't that situation where you see him coming, oh, a friend is coming back, like he's running like a madman, and then all of a sudden up over the horizon comes like a full army. Ah! He's just sprinting like a crazy person to try and get away from
yesterday
them.
when the 2 flanking guys came back in their own team.
Exactly. We're back,
there are
guys.
people coming from the back. Shoot them. So, oh, they were our own people. Ah, damn.
Yeah.
Can happen.
Hate to see it. But in case it happens again, guys, just so you don't think they're completely sort of unaware of what's going on, it is because when you're playing these tournaments, you don't have 32 people within the same group in the game. They're designated in squads within the team, and you can only see your 8 squad mates, which means that if you're in a city and you're next to people that aren't on your 8 squad, then they will appear as hostile as your opponents.
Well, it's true. You need to spot. You might need to confirm with your headquarter to figure out if that your guys or not. Seems like caravan of cars, jeeps, and obviously our beloved Dacias are heading... Do they rotate
They go south.
over
Yeah.
west to south now.
Yeah.
That was a good idea to stay up north. Believe me, there's that rich.
The thing is, I think they realized the entire enemy team was inside of Yasnaya, and they didn't really want to drive by that, because if they have the cover, if they have the buildings, they can just start spraying at their vehicles. And they're trying to rotate that many vehicles within a somewhat narrow area. That's just going to mean that, yeah, death and destruction pretty much.
That is true. Oh, we see now a car from the Hungarian side, obviously, since then flags are different. So this is Turkey that could take their first shots at Hungary here. That was the one guy we saw south. So he probably spotted them now.
Yeah.
And he could give that intel to the rest of his strike forces.
Yeah, see, they're kind of setting up shop next to each other now. At least the initial skirmish has begun here. It's far distance. It's the snipers battle against one another. And when we see this, normally we don't see finish-offs coming in either. It's like they know each other, they damage each other, but the real fights don't really happen until, you said 20 minutes yesterday.
Yeah.
I think it could happen earlier today, honestly, because we are kind of further out in the open.
Yes, it's true. It's a bit quicker already with 12 minutes. And we got the first knock. Krippy from Hungary knocks down XF from Turkey. Once again, that on top right is switched.
Yeah,
So
keep in
only-
mind that the flags and the team names are inside out.
Yeah, only the overlay on top, that is currently the right one. But yeah, the problem is you knock someone and there are just too many people around it that can obviously pick
Yeah.
him up.
That's what you said yesterday. 31 medics and 1 soldier.
Yeah, it's basically what happens, right? So it is kind of problematic, but I'm not sure if it was that great from the Turkish team to give up that advantage of having 2 strike angles.
Now, the new circle did pop, and I agree with you. They could have had a good somewhat side split down towards
There's no
Yasnaya.
crossfire now, and now they're running into a
Yeah.
fully... Look at that front line. That's the full front line setup
Yeah.
by the Hungarian team, the guys in red.
And the
That-
full pull-up coming up here towards the compound, too.
Oh, that will be horrible. I'm really sure that was a mistake by the Turkish team. They run right into a setup trap here. Hong takes out Tetris. Oh, Lipson was the one that gave the last shot there. But it seems like a lot of people on the Turkish side will fall, but Hungary is actually down to 29.
Yeah, because we're inside out again. Hungary taking
No,
a
no,
lot
no,
of
no.
casualties.
Yeah, but I actually expected the Turkish team to lose more people running
Yeah.
into that compound, but they don't.
They full-on committed to it, and they got themselves a ton of kills with it, too. Very, very well done by them. They managed to stay outside and not get too far in, but now Level Up clearly wants himself a piece of the pie in all regards, and he'll start tapping away in towards them. You can see they have 3-4 players over on the other side, on the eastern side of the road, and they have a chance to shoot on in. And honestly, even though there are smokes, just tap like a madman, because there's so many guys in there, odds are that you will hit at least something.
That is true. Like I said, I'm just surprised that it's currently Hungary being down, because when the Turkish team, like the guys in blue here, push to that compound, I thought they get enough fire over from Yasnaya, but it seems that's not the case.
Yeah, this is where you call in your airstrike, right?
Yes.
Can we
you
blow
know
up
where
this
they
compound?
are. Yeah, we know where they are. Just call the airstrike, get them done. But not gonna happen. 29-27, still pretty close. Enemy Pyro from the Turkish team. He gets knocked out by Venti. It's interesting how close they are right now with that. They basically got a 2-stage front line right now. The one with Priorix, Drive Norby, Photo Ops, and Kodiak. That's the first line. They're kind of trying to flank now. And then up north
Yeah.
on the map, you see the Rock guys and Shun and everyone waiting to pick up some kills.
And look at how much control the Hungarian team is taking as well. They got Yasnaya under control, which means they can split out further west now as well. They can completely pin down the Turkish team. The initial push from Turkey was smart, because they came up, they took the compound, they got, well, the better fight and all of that. But their push back down from there has cost them so many players.
That looked like a good lined up headshot, but did not work. Instead, Level Up takes all the damage. 80 in total. So I'm not sure if they really want to be that far up in the open right
Yeah.
now to start this.
It's going to be hard as well, because this yellow house, I mean, it's good to play from, but you can very easily, very, very easily get pinned down in there. And with so many nades having been tossed in there just before, they can't really stick around, and they won't have vehicles to get on out. A new circle now pops as well. I think the entirety of this Yasnaya bunch will move on down towards this right side of the road and trying to sort of make a ridge line for them to have to fight through.
There might be a chance for Hungary now to push down south and try to flank them a bit along the west side of the circle to just get the team around Rita and Unseen. That's what we're now seeing in the south of the small part of the map that we're currently seeing.
Yeah.
So that might be a chance. Oh, Lipson takes some damage. Photo Ops gets killed for Hungary. So they're down to 25 already. Turkey's still on 28, but that's close enough. I mean, nothing is decided.
Oh,
yet.
not at all, not at all. It's going to come down to the final few circles, who gets the better of those. And it's kind of unfortunate because Bly and the other guys from Hungary, they had a chance of playing out and really pin them down. But clearly, they were caught off, and they realized this is not what we want to do. We want to wait till later. And I like the fact that they disengage on it, too. Smart play from them.
So Turkey finally created 2 task forces again, which is great. So they got different angles onto their opponents. But still, for the overall front line, they're pretty close together. You know, you're basically still shooting from the same direction.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very much just 2 front lines sitting next to each other and shooting, not actually coming in from different angles. I agree with you there. And this next circle shift could be the sort of turning point for this one, because if it goes dead center on the road, if it pushes out from both compounds, well, I mean, chaos is going to be the name of the game, and it kind of is starting already.
Wow.
You see a lot of shots connected.
Saw that one?
Long-range headshot coming in right there.
From a different world, man. That distance knocked him immediately. Great shot for Benz. Obviously still switched flags, so don't get confused. Red is Hungary, blue is Turkey. Now it seems like they need to move. Look at Hungary now, getting everything running towards that. I mean, they got the center of the circle. The question is, where does it shift next?
And I like the push up here from the Hungarian team, because they realize we cannot let them take this. Because if the circle shift west and they already have control of the road, then we cannot leave the compound. All of a sudden, we'll be the pinned down team. So they go up, they expand. And you talked about that as well yesterday, where Sweden didn't really go out from Abbey when they had the chance to. They're just like, we're in a good position now. We'll wait for the circle. Here, they play their odds better, I think.
Yeah, keep on moving. Don't try to hold a single city or compound with a whole team. That's not really work. I'm still not sure if that is split enough here on the Hungarian side, on the Turkish side, the blue side up there. But for now, it's still a setup that will work, because on the other side, on the Hungarian team, there's also no real split. So as long as that works and they just face each other, it's coming down to pure aim.
Yeah. You can see Callum, Don Rita, they're kind of making their way down south. Song is going to come down to help them out now as well. Some very highly skilled competitive players, Smash Bay in the mix there too. But once again, Ribbon saying, well, is that a hit? Let me just tear that helmet off.
Yeah, seems like he got that range dialed in right now.
Holy cow, these are some long-range shots too, again.
It's taking them nicely. I mean, once again, they don't really get kills in.
Yeah.
But it is enough to at least get rid of helmets and get the timer down and stuff like that. So that's fine. Oh, that was a close one as well.
That's an interesting
Oh, look at that circle
right
shift. So
in
it's
the middle.
the road is dividing this circle now.
It does allow for the Turkish team to stay in the compound, which is good. But it also allows for the Hungarian team to push on up. And this is what they're going to have to do, all of them pretty much, to get somewhere up forward. And I think the most daring team here, the team that dares to take the most control, will also be the team that ends up with the win. Unless, of course, if the compound, or if the circle just keeps going over towards the compound west.
With the current range that the Turkish team is getting out there, you can see that on the map. They knocked Nobu on top north. Because if Hungary could rotate north without getting shot, and then create that flank angle, that would be great. But right now, Turkey does everything to make sure that they can't run away, and it seems to work.
This is full World War I style. Each their side, shooting over the middle. No one really daring to go out into that open road. We can call it the Death Man's Road.
It's definitely not a setup for highlight play of individual players, because it's basically just 2 sides facing off each other.
Yeah.
Obviously, we have some people that are better on range than others, but it doesn't really allow for, you know, that one flag where someone takes out 5 people because you're coming around that ridge and stuff like that. Beautiful grenade. That might be enough to get Venti. Yep.
I like how they flew one, sent one each, and they knocked each other.
Yeah, they knocked each other. Awesome.
Proper
Both with grenade. Yep. So it was just like, oh, he got rid of his grenade. He might need another one.
Yeah.
Let me help out.
Let me help. Oh, wait, I pulled this. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, I saw. Oh, I pulled the splint. I'm sorry.
Exactly. Aim race. Gonna try and go down to get some control down south. And this is really what's gonna be spread out, because once or if you have to cross that road over to the other side, somehow, and I don't know how it's going to happen, but somehow you need to find sort of a surprise angle to do it, right?
Yeah,
Because you cannot just send it in the
I'm
middle.
wondering if Aimrace is doing the right thing here right now, because he got that smoke right in front of him. Oh, no, it's no smoke anymore.
You know what I
Might
want to
delay
see here?
someone.
I want to see whatever team gets shifted away from, to take all their vehicles and just plow them over on the other side. Like just start running them all over. Honestly, if you send 6 or 7 UASs at the same time, I mean, they can't blow all of them up, right? Sure, you'll take casualties, but casualties are within every single war. Just full-on send it, because it's so open, they have nothing to hide behind. You can just keep driving until they run them all over.
Kill feed is constantly showing us different names, but not really that many kills unless that
Yeah.
code marker gets killed. But it's 25-25, so it's even again. It's nothing decided right now. It's a really
Not at
interesting
all.
circle here with that far open. Venti now falls after he got picked up after a grenade. He still gets the grenade out though, but it won't hit anyone. 24-25, small lead now for Hungary.
Oof, this circle is not going to be good for anyone but the Turkish team. Pretty much the entirety of Hungary has to make that committed push on over. If not now, then for sure the next circle, and it's not going to be easy at all.
Yeah, you see that. It helped them out a bit, but obviously the circle is more to the left side. We said that the road
Yeah.
was the divider before, and now everyone has to move on the Hungarian side. Extasio, I'm wondering if he could create that angle. No, there are 1 million days, 1,000 days.
We do see Benio making the run over.
Yeah,
There are a few
yeah.
teams have made their way over to the other side.
It's got shot already. Yeah, the team in the south, they managed to cross the road, while now the main forces try to move over there as well.
Yeah.
But they got a grenade in 22-25. Seems like the Hungarian team is now picking up more kills, at least in the last minutes.
And the Turkish team has been split off too. And if you guys are wondering why we're not watching them shoot, that's because we are getting back in the game. Let's just call it that. But look at the push. I mean, look at the commitment from Hungary right here.
PUBG RTS. Life.
Yeah.
Commit to it. Let's see, 22-24. All right, so still, Hungary, even if they have to push, maybe it's once again this thing of, if you're the attacker, you at least decide where to show yourself.
Yeah.
While the defender's nearly always at the same position. And it seems like that does not work for Turkey.
I mean, a lot of shots, a lot of people going down, obviously, on both sides too. But as you can see, I mean, it was kind of going in the favor of Turkey for a while. But Hungary just said, you know what, we're going to send it over the road. Maybe not the way that I said they should, with the vehicles all over the place. But they sure as hell made it work. Now, there you go. Back in the game we are. And Scrappy's on his stomach, trying to see if he can do some damage.
Beautiful grenade once again there on Xonk. Kodiak doing his best. There are 5 kills now among his squad. That's not bad at all. That is obviously the Hungarian side. Kalimdor tries to answer. They're down to 14 already. They had the defense set up, but it was Hungary with that strong push across that straight that really brought them so many kills.
Yeah, it sure did. I mean, they're up by 10 players now from what was pretty much completely even just before. And now it's just going to be for them to pick them all off because it's going to be so. Even though Turkey has the last remaining players within hard cover in the yellow houses there's not going to be a whole lot to play from. They're going to get pinned in so hard.
Norby! Did he really overlook that one? There's one right in front of him. Yeah, take it.
go.
That one's for free.
Yep.
Go for it. Norby gets Kalimdor. So down to 30 now on the Turkish side. We said already they probably got the biggest support in the chat, so they will come back, I'm sure, on map 2. But right now, map 1, they halve the strength of the Hungarian forces.
Hungary, they're just completely running them over. I mean, they're just swarming them from all sides. It's working.
Wondering if they were not done with their setup, or if they're just struggling when they see too many targets and they can't really decide. Because the problem is, if there are that many targets, you need to commit to one.
Yeah.
You need to take it down and not switch.
I think the thing here as well is you gotta constantly be on the move. You cannot shoot, get knocks, and then stay and shoot some more. Once you get that 2 knocks and like a couple of guys, you gotta go up and push further forward, take that position, and then keep going all the time. Because that's what Hungary have been doing better than Turkey. Because Turkey has gotten those knocks. They've just never been in a position to push up and get the finish offs.
I mean, you were right that they were the only ones that really have a good position to hold. But that's also the problem.
Yeah.
They are always expected to be in the same spots.
Exactly.
While the Hungarian team was running around along that road, trying to look for a new angle onto the opponents, and it seemed that they played that really, really well.
I mean, you can see even when the circle split it right down the middle, it was the Hungarian team that were the ones to run up to the road and say, we shall take control over this, we can't let the opponents do it.
Slippy Zerg tried to revive his teammate, but that grenade said no.
And Ribbons has probably got 6 or 7 kills at this point. He's been crazy with the nades now, he's been crazy with the Kar 98 in the beginning of the game. And yeah, 6. No, that's actually Vancy with 6 kills. Okay, so it hasn't been. It's just the same teammates.
Yeah, but they do in a proper work here. 8 kills among them right now. 12 in their squad. There's really a strong
Impressive.
killer squad here right now. Trias gets taken out by Iroh, but only not so far. Maybe it can be picked up again. But now they're super close. Look at that. I mean, they can wave. They can shout at each other.
Yeah.
And then all of that on the open field. There's small compound that's here, up north.
Oh, he's just prone in there, GLL. He's doing everything he can for his team, and he's not been taken down yet. I think he just got 3 knocks off of that.
8 to 18. I think that will be hard for Turkey to overcome this now. Down to 6. Another grenade from Corleone. Right dead center there of the whole squad. That's it. Turkey gets eliminated, at least on map 1. Obviously not yet in the Nations Royale. And it's Hungary taking the first win.
Do not get confused, guys. Flags were upside down, inside out, and all of the above. So indeed, it was the Hungarian team to secure themselves the win.
Well, that is true. Turkey needs a strong comeback on Erangel because we're playing that map once again. We learned that already with Sandhawk being the decider. If Turkey wins the next one, then we all move over to some vacation over to Sandhawk.
I thought when you said vacation, you meant
Vikendi.
I was like,
Yeah, no, it's Sandhawk. I'm sorry about that, but I would rather have vacations in Sandhawk than having them in Vikendi.
I mean, look at this. If you send that many vehicles, you just saw there, into a bunch of players, it's going to be like cavalry running into footmen, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure. These guys are hitting their targets.
If
you really run at them with the cars, I'm pretty sure they will finish you before you get some problem damage. But that was one of the beautiful shots by Ribbons.
Yeah, a couple of them too. I mean, there was one more later on.
He was on fire
really
in terms of range.
shots. And just overall, I mean, it goes to show, even though this might by some be seen as a more of a for-fun tournament, I mean, these guys really have a chance to showcase their skills. And, well, they are. Sure, there are more targets potentially to shoot at, but, well, they're hitting the shot when they have to.
Also, more people that could kill you.
Exactly.
That's the issue. It does not really help to have more targets. Commitment is crucial. We just saw that was the grenade close to the end, and then at the end, actually, it was Hungary taking map number 1. Slightly, like I said, not a match for those hyped up moments, since we never saw any one action leading to an actual result. It was 2 fronts going at each other, Hungary pushing a bit better because they actually moved around. That's what they got them the kills, but we never saw any like flank maneuver that really got kills. It was pure shooting.
I think what got the win, though, in the end, as we talked about, is that they dared to go up and take the road. I mean, they pushed out of the compound. They didn't allow for the other guys to pin them down. They took control, and that's what allowed them to just swarm around in the end.
Hungary leading 1-0. Will Turkey have a comeback on map 2? All of that after the break. Map 1 is in the books. Hungary took it. That means Turkey is trailing here in our first best of 3 on the GLL Nations Royale. Do they have a comeback now? Is that what happens?
I think they do. They're. Oh, we cannot play under the wrong flag. We need to
Probably
pull
that,
momentum
yeah.
our way, right? Yeah. The fans were all. Wait,
Confused,
who are we
probably.
supposed to support? So now it's all correct, and therefore, of course, they will just come out popping heads off. Because we saw both sides do that. We
Yep.
did see a lot of knocks coming in. It was just, I mean, one thing, as I said, daring, that's one thing. But for the Turks, they had to push out through that field to push anything. For the Hungarian team, they had like the uphill, they had the trees to really like push forward to the next tree. You cannot just go push forward to the next
But they
hay bale. It's just going to
they
give you
definitely
anything.
didn't have any circle luck later on.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that was a big factor yesterday, obviously, with the first map for Sweden, for example. They had a great circle helping them out. That was definitely not the case here. It showed that you don't need to have circle luck to actually win it.
They swamped them. They just committed, and the Turkish players couldn't really sort of set themselves up in a position to hold them off.
But we'll see if that will be the same on map 2. Once again, it will be Erangel before, in case we have a tie. We head over to Sun Hawk.
Yeah.
And then obviously later on, we see the other matchup, which will be Great Britain versus France. And then South America follows up with Argentina versus Brazil. All the info in just one smooth.
And so much rivalry within all
Yeah.
those regions.
I mean,
it's
all of
amazing.
our matchups so far have been crazy.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. I mean, because I mean, even in this, I mean, you just know if you're a player, English player, and you're going up against the French, it's gonna be that much more of
I was just wondering about. I mean, probably there's something between Germany and Greece, but Greece was a mix between Greece and Cyprus. I was wondering, was there ever anything between Cyprus and Germany?
I know there was something. They were down there in a period
Yeah.
of time.
You
The Germans hung out there. in-
Tourism?
Yeah, I think they hung out in Cyprus in the middle 40s.
Yeah.
For a little while.
I will Google that.
But I don't think there was a whole lot more than that. But nonetheless, guys, we are once again taking to the sky, as Renee so correctly said just before. We are playing Erangel one more time because Miramar didn't feel like joining us today. So should this one go in the favor of Turkey, we will get to the decider being Sanok. And these teams, to my knowledge, have had the pleasure of deciding, not for themselves, but agree on which map should be played. So it's a it's their decision that we're going Sanok, because none of them like winter. So that's just how it is.
Which is fine. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
waiting
yeah,
for
yeah.
summer for basically 3 months already.
Well, there you go. Not a whole lot more to it than that. Once again, we see a pretty even split here. The plane is going to favor the Eastern teams, but it's not really going to matter. I mean, with this format, everyone's going to get the loot they need. Kalimdor is going to chill in the military island, potentially send down a scout, take some ground, and yeah, we'll wait another 10 seconds, 20 seconds to make that until we see the circle pop.
Once again, we see a clear cut in between the teams, but I think there was also a squad. I mean, obviously they are part of one of the two nations.
You can have a squad
They
within,
were-
within an army.
a squad.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
Kalimdor, look, he's actually checking out Zasnavka Island, and there's obviously two Hungarian teams, two Hungarian squads, sitting at military base and at the pier. So he will probably leave now.
Oh,
He
yeah.
got a
I
call
was going to
already.
say, the only thing
Yeah.
he found out by being military was that he's very far away from the circle.
Yeah, true. Once again, we got a very
Yeah.
northern circle.
Very, very, very
But this
far
time,
north
both
indeed.
teams have players in that circle. Last time, it was only Turkey.
It was very, very much one-sided last time around. This time around, a little more evenly.
No,
so
the other way around. Last time, it was only Hungary in the
Hungary,
circle.
yeah.
Yep.
Only thing for me is in this one that if you're a team going far east, you have some more room to rotate. Of course, you only have your own team over in the west side. But honestly, if you were Hungary and you're really, really quick, send some guys over towards bridges on the west and deny them from crossing them. Could that be a thing? The bridge demolishers, like no. Is that too thought out?
Once again, since it's a northern circle, I would say get your loot, rotate over to Stalba, set up. I know that I repeat myself, but it is a nice place.
No, but that's
to have
because
it at
it's
fight.
important. Yeah, I mean, there's a reason to repeat yourself.
Yeah,
in these
we'll probably
situations.
see them. Do they check out Georgia Pole? Like normally, a team that lands on the more western side of Erangel, they all go Georgia Pole at one point to get quick loot. But so far they don't. And actually, Unknowny down there. He's pretty close to some of the Turkish players.
Kralian.
Well, we see Buggy Race here. Enemy Pyro against Kralioni. Enemy Pyro. Oh, he took a shortcut. Beautiful. But now Slipstream is needed.
He's the one.
Yeah, Kralioni with the handbrake turn.
Yep.
It's not a racing game, by the way.
Clap.
But if you really wondered how to cast a racing game, obviously there is real
just
racing
did it.
casting out there. But I heard today how Toby would play-by-play cast a racing game. And basically, he would just watch the animated model of the driver and just cast that. So it's like, he's using his hands, and he turns left.
Yeah.
And now, he grabs the gear lever, gets into the next gear.
And we wouldn't even need in-game sound either. Because I could just
You
go
would do
like,
all of that, yes.
Yep,
Maybe
it's
we
gonna
can do that in PUBG one day as well.
Yeah. Huh. That's
Easy.
gonna be like the new game mode for GLL. They're gonna do like all around the map, sort of racing games.
Yeah, they could do like small goals that you need to drive through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a challenge. That's a challenge.
I would be up for that.
Yeah, we'll have to wait. Yeah, I'm sure you would. With these super ultra hardcore realistic simulator-ish engine physics that we have in PUBG
and
driving.
it's Dutch, yes, only.
Yeah, of course.
Has to be.
Not the buggy.
No buggy. No buggy.
Not the buggy.
Beautiful
But,
camera once again.
Exactly,
Observer
these
is
guys,
just...
they are on point.
I really think he found the job of his life.
Mm-hmm. Some might argue that. Some might argue that. Indeed.
Oh, beautiful trees as well. But even better, it's supply drop. Let's see what's in there.
Oh.
AWM and all level 3.
And very
Elite.
unique to crates, also the extended quick draw magazine for snipers. Very
For snipers.
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 I don't know where this accent came from, but
no
yeah,
clue.
it's a gone now again, so don't worry.
Snipers.
Sniper.
Look at all these snipers
Mein
coming in.
Sniper rifle. Maybe it's German accent. Hallo, hast du sehen mein Sniper rifle? Is that German? Do you say Sniper rifle in German?
Sniper rifle.
Ich habe ein großes Sniper rifle.
No.
No?
Because we don't say rifle, right? It's
Oh,
Gewehr.
Snipergewehr.
Snipergewehr.
Zoom-Gewehr.
Schießgewehr.
Schießgewehr.
That's what children say. Schießgewehr.
Or it's a shooting gun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
I have a
doesn't make
shooting
sense.
gun. Yeah,
It doesn't
yeah,
make
yeah,
sense,
yeah.
but Schießgewehr. That's what children say. At least back in the days when I was still one, so I have no clue what they say nowadays. Probably they say triple take.
So you add what it does. So you have a walking leg and a running leg, right?
Yeah, I have no clue where that came from.
Yeah, same.
Really know. But look, it is interesting.
Look at the
once
game.
again. Look at the game. Look at PUBG. That's what we're here for. But Rain, once again, looting. Obviously, we're still in that phase. We're only 6 minutes in. As it's 32 versus 32, it takes a while for both teams to actually get started. He's right in the red zone, though. But due to the circle being that far up north, they will be very close to each other because both armies are coming in from the south.
And he has to rally his troops, being the guy that is maybe not the further south, but something close to it. And again, we talked about this yesterday too. There are red zones here, guys. And well, again, if you get knocked by a red zone, not the biggest deal, but if you're in a vehicle when that thing pops on you, then there's no resting. It's just you being very much blown up immediately.
True that, and no one wants to be blown up.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Only if you can get rest again, because then it doesn't matter that you get blown up, right?
Still, I don't want to get blown up.
Oh, really?
I just don't want to.
Then you don't want to stand in that red zone. Like Honor is doing right now. He's just hiding in there.
That was a great camera shot. His fence was giving up immediately. Awesome. That should be in a Michael Bay movie. Is it Michael Bay?
Yes, that is the name of a person that directs movies with explosions. There's probably a Brian Bay out there
Brian,
too, but yeah.
You can't really do anything wrong with that. It's probably someone with that combination somewhere in the world.
Most likely. But once again, we see Hungary. We didn't really see it early on last game, but now we actually see them take more circle control. There wasn't really any of them daring to do a lot of scouting and trying to see how far can we get. It's okay.
Driving
It'll
on
bounce
two
back
wheels.
up. It'll bounce back up.
Yeah.
There you
That
go.
was a cool stunt. Look at that. Game is over. Hungary, Turkey, both teams are at 0.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
They were now like...
That vehicle flip right there was like, yep, nope, nope, it's over.
It's over. They're really close. Look at that. Shun, Supra, they're close to Mert. And also enemy Pyro is joining them. I think currently, if I got it in my mind correctly with elevation changes, it should be a bit stronger for Hungary.
You'd assume so, yeah. The thing is that the whole plateau between pretty much the bunch that are north of Rostock and where Krippy is It's a big valley. Not a valley, but a downhill sort of area, right?
Downhill
it goes
spiral of
downhill.
abuse.
It goes downhill into the middle from both sides, pretty much. And that's probably the one place you do not want to be caught, which is obviously also why no one's there right now. And for everyone else from the Hungarian team taking all this northern control, it's actually extremely smart, because should the circle go north or even west, then you have Shun and you have Supra and all these guys that can make their way up towards the Verney and go even further up. So again, they have a chance to once again swarm the Turkish team.
Now I wonder if we see the same simple frontline setup, just going for pure manpower and aim, and just straight up shoot at each other rather than flanking or anything. There's a Turkish car under fire right now by Shun and his mates there. Bit far off though, doesn't really connect any shots here. Oh, that was a hit.
Yeah.
Fanabush, 24 I think, if I saw that correctly.
And ironically enough, to talk about Hungary being able to use the swarm techniques here, we can talk about the siege of Kosovo in 1389, when
Now we
Turkey
go hard
actually
on that.
when Turkey actually managed to swarm the entirety of Kosovo, and it meant that Serbia lost complete power of that region. Not Wikipedia, by the way.
Not at all. I
No.
can see it on your phone from here, man. That does not really work.
Important
Next time we
facts
get a caster
thrown
cam.
in.
Get a caster cam so we see what you actually Google on it. There's another drop coming in, all right. That might land right at the Turkish side here. Still 32-32. Nothing happened, but yeah.
Something happened.
I shouldn't say something like that, because then at
Yeah.
every single moment
you
something
kill
happens.
people like
yeah,
that? Come
Benz, I'm so
on.
sorry. He got overrun by rules.
So we can say this, no one has been finished off, and Circle did
Yes.
go down south, which means that the whole idea of rotating around the north is kind of, well, it doesn't really matter too much anymore. But one thing that is, or could be relevant, is that right now, Turkey has 3 players south of the river. And it seems to me like Hungary has probably 4 or 5. Okay, they have 7. Or 5, make that. So whoever goes down south now, should the next circle go there? I mean, imagine if Hungary sends players all the way by Yasnaya and takes control of the south. If it crosses over to that side, for them to get over would be impossible.
All of that does not matter. If Hungary takes a chance now and actually tries to squeeze this now, like the Turkish army, the full Turkish army is at this spot here.
Mm-hmm.
And they got way more angles, right? I mean, they're over in the city. You see them there, over the bridge. So they got more attack angles. Obviously, they got the drop, which is what they like.
Yeah.
But they can be shot from every direction. Look at this. There's Hungary all around them, basically.
Yeah.
Not all, because obviously not on the right side.
But that's what I'm saying. If they go
Completely
down south as well, if they go even thinner, then it's going to be so hard for Turkey to go anywhere if this circle goes east or south, for that sake.
Yeah,
Like, as soon as they have to cross back
definitely.
over the water, if they don't have people there already now, I would say, they have one guy down there, but if they don't have them down there now, taking control of those bridges, having to cross them with teams shooting at you in the same time is going to be pretty much, well, impossible. And you see they're already starting to flank on south.
Yeah, beautiful move. I like that. I want to see some flanking action.
Yeah,
That's what I
yeah,
missed in map 1. Obviously, Hungary is leading by 1. Means if they take that, it's done and dusted for Turkey. Then they're out. It'll be a bit sad seeing a team with such big support. And look at that drop.
Crates. Yeah. Not your usual crate. The more, I think it's set up the way that the more teams you have on your squad, the better the loot from these care packages, or like flare gun care packages. So as you can see right there, very, 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 very stacked with items, and it's gonna help out not only 1, not only 2, not only 3, but 4 players, and not only getting great weapons, but also that level 3 gear. That's pretty damn useful in these games.
It definitely is, but we saw so much ammunition being wasted already, but not a single kill. And
Was it
besides
really
that one
wasted,
guy,
though?
besides that, yeah, that depends on. Besides that one guy that got knocked by his own teammate by a car,
Yeah.
no one was even knocked.
No.
And that 12 minutes into the game.
Very different from the last game, but then again, it just takes that one little weird sort of position to really ignite everything. Really, like, right? I mean, it just takes the one team, one player to sort of call out there's something going on here. Has a team rotate in one direction, and boom! All of a sudden, you can lose half the players in a couple of minutes.
It really all goes down to how dedicated Hungary is to pull the strings now and just move on in. They definitely got more. Oh, look at that. They got more angles, and that circle puts them in a great... If they wait long enough now,
What?
outside the circle, wait for the rest of the Turkish team to move up, they can squeeze them in.
What
between,
does
that's it.
Turkey do here? Because they cannot allow. Look at this. I like the rotation we're getting up north. Because if Hungary managed to take control of the north, then there is absolutely nothing Turkey can do other than hope that the circle goes down towards them later. Because look at the field and the open area they'd have to rotate through. That's going to be so difficult if multiple teams are shooting at them. So Vanti, actually, really good idea by him. But he's kind of the only one executing it. And I do not think that's going to work against 32 players. They should have been up right there. Like, right off the bat, they should have sent people over to where Paladuruk is right now and taken control of that. That would have completely pinned them down.
Yeah, they were a bit, like I said, they were not dedicated enough at that point. They were
Yeah.
not brave enough to really put that to an end. And that might hurt them hard now. Look, due to the Turkish team, and I had to give it to them, that was quick reaction, get one, rotation on point, immediately saw it, all right, guys, we need to do something. They're all in the circle now. Hungary's trailing, and Hungary loses all the advantages of the previous angles they created on the enemy.
Yes, that's the thing, right? Because now it's a straight, again, as we saw last game, straight west to east fight with no one really having the upper hand to a certain extent. Paladuruk, that's a good shot right there. 2 shots to the chest. Vanti goes down, but again, with 11 people in that shack, should be able to get the rest up.
Yeah, but there might be a chance here to finish him off.
Ooh, Sixmo is up with a nade in hand. That could be dangerous.
Cooked and thrown right in. Wait.
A bit too long.
Oh, that was nearly no damage
Yeah.
at all. But there's another grenade. Flypie still alive, though. Vanti got picked up again. Rebens, that is a very important one. If they get Rebens out
Yeah.
immediately, his squad had 12 kills
Exactly.
on the previous map. And he's down already. Iroh finished him off.
I mean, the RG players last game were just overall. I mean, I think it was him and Vanti actually doing the most of the damage. Right?
Yeah.
Vanti has already been knocked once now. And as you said right there, Ribbons has already been taken out. And there are only 4 guys down there. Look at the split now from the Turkish team. Taking a lot of control. But as you can see as well, the cavalry is indeed arriving for Hungary.
I like the split on the Turkish side right now. I think they're doing good with that. Not creating that one big pile up of players right now, which is what Hungary does. But Hungary still plays down the elevation, which is great. And they got the slight advantage in environment.
Issue for Hungary is that they're sort of ganging up on areas where there is 1 tree, 2 trees, a shack, and it's just limited how many people you can really sit down there and actually have cover for. Whereas to the Turkish teams, they're stacking up, sure, but they're doing it in positions where they have that much more sort of room to spread out and still be active. If you put 4 guys in a shack, only 1 guy can look out the door, right?
Yeah, definitely. There's not much space.
Exactly.
And Sicario taking those shots, not really connecting any so far. Hungary, they now face a very fragmented Turkish side, which might work in favor. But I'm not sure if the Turkish guys are actually firing at themselves down there.
It
I
could
think
all-
1,000 days and
That's the name now, by the way.
Shall at his own people.
Also, Rita, I mean, she has a chance to do some damage here. You can see she's looking up towards the combat, actually expecting a more northern flank. She is the in-game leader for her team on a daily basis, so clearly a lot of thought, even though she's not the one calling the overall shots. She might be like the sub commander. Is that a thing? What's
I
the
guess
thing below a commander?
there has to be a
lieutenant, sergeant, something like that.
I'm not.
A platoon.
Did you ever went to the military?
No, my dad did. Does that count?
It's the same on my side. We have to out ourselves right now. It's like, nope, I never went there. So, oh, with that team, like with the Hungarian team right in between a triangle of death here created by the Turkish side. They're doing a great job with split. But Hungary tries to copy that now. Look at it. They try to set up. They obviously got the bigger groups, which might work a bit in their favor.
And looking at the map here, as I said earlier, the fact that Paladuruk went up there so early to that compound, imagine had you had Hungary up there. They would have full, like they would be sitting on 70% of the circle.
Yeah.
But now, because they didn't get that spot, all the Hungarian players are forced to go all the way back up the hill towards that warehouse. And that's going to give so much, technically not room for Turkey, because they can't just run out there and sit there because it's open, but it's going to force them back by such a big margin.
Welcome to MTV Shack.
That's
with
it.
Ravens
the
rules.
shortest episode ever.
MTV Shack.
This is my shack. End.
That's the door, 4
And
walls,
the end.
and a roof. Goodbye. That's the episode we just saw there. 10 seconds with our host, Raven Rules. But you're right. The quick reaction on the Turkish side for that rotation might pay off, and it would be crucial for this game.
I think you can describe that shack as the house that everyone builds the first time around in Sims. 4 walls, a window, and a door.
No,
House.
I can tell you my Sims house look completely different.
Oh, they do? Okay.
Oh yeah.
Look at the shank. The flank from Shaxi.
Look at my shack.
Look
My
at the
shack is amazing.
Look at the shank from Shaxi. The flank from Shaxi. He's full on committed to it as well. As I say that, he is jumping off the vehicle. And Sigaro now needs some backup because there are multiple players coming in. It's the entirety of Fenerbahce saying, you know what, we'll pull up on this. And, well, I mean, they're having extra sex doing it right now.
Yeah, Sicario, he also fell, obviously, there, you're right. They were all pushing into his small shack because they obviously saw that one episode on MTV Shack. They were like, we're getting ourselves one. And that one seems to be open and free, but it wasn't.
And look at the control they get off of going up there. They all of a sudden pin all the players in the middle down. Now they get the angle on towards them. They couldn't shoot at them just before, but look at how open and exposed they are from this spot.
Once again, we might see that the attacking team has the easier job.
Yeah. Could become the...
Because the setup, the current setup is in favor of the Hungarian team. But if Turkey just pushes hard and just commits to it, it might work. Because Hungary does have so many targets, they don't know where to finish off first. I mean, it just makes the job harder.
Turkey has lost 2 players in all of this. Very impressive that they, despite the fact that they didn't really have the best spot to be in, have been able to pull it off to the extent that they have. New Circle's going to pop now as well. Turkey is pushing on forward, trying to get themselves some control, and it has gone down towards them, actually. So if they can take control of this shack, which it looks like Mert is going to try and do right now, that's going to be very, very, very difficult for the Hungarian team to push down that hill.
Once again, that shack is a major party in the attack. Something they can hide. Mert is currently doing that. Hiding behind it, but he got the enemy right around the corner. He's coming around, but Adam is finishing him off way too quick. But then support coming in, drop in, gets photo ops. So it seems like working for Turkey. Fly still playing that shack game here. Still alive.
Full-on swarm coming in now. Bly doing everything again. He was one of the initial players to go up here and take control of the shack, but he most likely also will be one of the last players to go down around this area, because I don't think the Hungarian players can really commit to this. They do try to make their way on down. Now Stabis is full-on sending it after his teammates go down. There you go. The cavalry is coming on in, and that's another 3 players in the area. And Bly's actually buying his team a hell of a lot of time here.
Yeah, really, they standing strong there. I expected them to lose out there way quicker. Down to 20 now on the Hungarian side. Seems like the Turkish push is really working for them.
Yeah.
Stabis, no chance to run away. There are just too many rat enemies around him. Also level up, he will probably be in danger here. Katurkan? Oh, man!
Is that a name?
Katurkan.
Control RKN.
Control RKN.
It's like CTR.
CTR. Katurkan.
That is his name now. It sounds like a Turkic.
I'm pretty sure that Twitch chat will be all over us like that. It's called like this, pronounced like this. I'm really sorry.
At least they'll tell us, and then we'll know for
yeah.
for the
I
future,
need to look
right?
that. I need to look that.
So
up.
so no hard feelings. Just tell us what it is, and we'll do it correctly from now on.
We'll do our best. Chris the Beast, he fell. Also level up is finally down and flushed. Fenerbahce and Lipson fell on the Turkish side, 15-14 to 24 now. Just 10 difference now. Turkey might have the upper hand here. They could send us all to Senok onto a 3rd map.
They have been doing well with the push, the control down towards this area. I mean, everything they didn't do last game, as far as taking control and daring to go to some of these spots, they made work this game. So very, very impressive comeback for them, that's for sure.
So some windows. Conte! Oh!
That's an explosion.
Oh, Vic Reigns, he
Of
was
your
so
teammates.
unlucky there. He might have the whole team. Well, then that grenade interrupted his run still. The Turkish forces make sure that they get the whole group there. Ravens, Esma.
I think Kodiak just knocked his 4th teammate for those nades. That's impressive.
He knocked 4 teammates.
Yeah, with those nades
Probably
over.
a new record.
Supra, you're kind of on your own and alone.
This.
Look at the control they've taken. Impressive.
They've got the whole circle. It's only 8 Hungarians left. And this looks like Turkey reigning supreme here on map 2. On the 2nd time they go to Erangel, they definitely improved the game. Woo! They dared. The shack is finally falling. Fire to celebrate the win of Turkey, taking this to a tie. And that means for the 3rd time in a row since yesterday, we're going into a decider match.
That's interesting. And it's going to be Senok. We've already seen these teams. Now we've seen Hungary try to take control. We've seen Turkey try and take control, they run around in the open like crazy people trying to take them down, that's not even going to be a thing, at least for the most part, on Senok.
Hungary had the better push on map 1.
Yeah.
Then Hungary had once again the better setup in map 2, but it was Turkey that reacted quick to the
Yeah.
circle,
Yes.
that committed to an attack, and that they YOLO'd it and just went right in there and actually came out on top.
And I mean, this right here, that circle shift right there we saw, that gave Turkey not necessarily the win, but the chance to get it. I mean, the fact that they pushed up north so far, but so early, to say we cannot get pinned down here like we did last game, very smartly played by them.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. That was great reading of what would happen in the future of this match.
Yeah.
And on this map, and that got Turkey the win. I'm pretty sure that is without that northern shift, they would probably have lost this because their position
Exactly.
was way worse.
I mean, they were all fighting from one front. They only had one edge, really, to fight things off of. And fortunately, the circle went north. They had the control. And that the fact that they went all the way up north there allowed for Shaxi and the other guys to go on the other side, too. So, well played by Turkey.
No easy win for any of these nations, which means we're going over to Senok for a decider match right after the break.